The world stands on the edge of a new technological era as the race for military superiority intensifies. Leading the charge, the U.S. has unveiled its cutting-edge X-44 Manta, a next-generation aircraft that promises to revolutionize air combat. Beyond fortifying alliances with advanced nations like the Quad, the U.S. is enhancing its air power with this game-changing aircraft. What makes the X-44 Manta truly exceptional? How will it redefine the balance of global military power? Join us as we explore the mind-blowing features of the new 2025 X-44 Manta that is ready for battle, terrifying Russia and China. As China is gearing up to reveal its latest warplanes at an eagerly awaited air show, the U.S. has also unveiled something interesting: the X-44 Manta. This aircraft is one of the most secretive projects in U.S. military aviation. Developed by Lockheed Martin, this advanced stealth aircraft was designed without a traditional tail, which made it stand out from other planes. This unique design aimed to improve stealth and maneuverability, setting it apart as a groundbreaking innovation in aviation. This aircraft is considered very fast and can speed up to Mach 1 in just seconds, setting a new record for fighter jets. Its special design and stealth features make it nearly invisible to radar and the human eye, thanks to a new coating called parallax. Initially, the project was secret, and it seemed like development had stopped. While there were suggestions that this aircraft might not even be real, recent leaks from the Pentagon and sightings of the X-44 Manta showed that the aircraft truly exists and is being improved for complex combat missions. NASA and the U.S. Air Force started working on the X-44 aircraft in the 1990s, when the U.S. military was searching for new ways to create an unmatched stealth aircraft. The plan was to test Manta, or multi-axis no-tail aircraft technology, on either an F-22 Raptor or an F-15, with test flights projected to begin by 2007. Another feature that makes this aircraft exceptional is that NASA believed the technologies that were developed for the X-44 could be useful for other projects like the F-22, the Joint Strike Fighter, and even future commercial supersonic planes. Initial funding for the feasibility work came from the government and two contractors, and the program was officially approved in mid-1999 when the aircraft was designated the X-44A. However, the funding for the X-44 ended in 2000, halting further development. Some later FB-22 proposals considered using a tailless design similar to the X-44's, continuing research from the Manta project. This aircraft was designed by Lockheed Martin with the goal of showcasing an aircraft controlled entirely by vector thrust without the need for traditional control surfaces. The design removed the tail and vertical stabilizers, which reduced the radar signature and improved efficiency by simplifying the overall structure. Thrust vectoring, which redirects the engine's exhaust to control the aircraft's direction, would provide yaw, pitch, and roll control, replacing traditional mechanical flight controls. The X-44 design was based on the F-22, sharing its engine and fuselage, but the aircraft would have a larger delta wing, allowing for more fuel storage. By removing the tail and rudder surfaces, the X-44 would reduce mechanical complexity while increasing agility and fuel efficiency, leading to a more streamlined and advanced aircraft. This tailless design sparked a lot of interest. However, it wasn't just for aesthetics, because the design helped reduce its radar visibility and enhanced its maneuverability. The Manta could reach speeds of 1,740 miles per hour and fly at altitudes up to 68,900 feet for reconnaissance missions, making it perfect for dangerous tasks. But then, things changed. Suddenly, the project became classified, and information about it started to vanish. The Pentagon didn't make any comment about it, which only increased public curiosity. Many began to think the aircraft was so advanced that its existence had to be kept secret, even from allies. One thing was clear: the X-44 Manta was more than just an airplane. It was a breakthrough in technology. One of the most surprising features of the Manta is its ability to become invisible, not just to radar, but also to the human eye. Imagine an aircraft that can vanish in an instant, leaving the enemy confused. This invisibility is made possible by a special coating called parallax, which acts like a camera and display at the same time. The bottom part of the airplane shows the image from the top, and the top shows the image from the bottom, making it seem like the plane has completely disappeared. But there's more. The X-44 fighter comes with some of the most advanced weapon systems, including hypersonic missiles that can hit targets within 16 feet. These missiles can travel at speeds of 2,000 and 850 miles per hour, making them much faster than regular air defense systems, which makes the Manta nearly unbeatable in combat. Additionally, the aircraft carries precision bombs that can hit their targets accurately, even when flying at high speeds. This aircraft can soar over the battlefield at speeds of 1,740 miles per hour while completely undetected. Even without weapons, the Manta is as deadly as a lightning bolt. This aircraft is definitely a game changer, and there are talks that it might have an electromagnetic gun. Whether that's true or not, it's clear that the X-44 Manta will be very important in future battles. Just think about discovering a plane that can actually disappear, defeat, and outshine any fighter. The United States is also working on a bomber with capabilities that has terrified Russia and China. This bomber, the Northrop Grumman B-21 Raider, is a new strategic bomber being developed for the U.S. Air Force. As part of the Long-Range Strike Bomber program, it's designed to be a stealth aircraft capable of delivering both regular and nuclear weapons over long distances. Named after the famous Doolittle Raiders from the Second World War, the B-21 is set to replace older bombers like the B-1 Lancer and B-2 Spirit by 2040. It may also eventually take over from the Boeing B-52 Stratofortress. The Long-Range Strike Bomber program started in 2011 to create a stealth bomber for the U.S. Air Force that could carry both regular and nuclear weapons. In 2014, the Air Force asked companies to submit proposals, and in 2015, Northrop Grumman was chosen to develop the aircraft. Boeing and Lockheed Martin, who also wanted the contract, protested the decision, but in 2016, the Government Accountability Office confirmed that Northrop Grumman's proposal was chosen because it was more affordable. The Air Force Rapid Capabilities Office manages the B-21 program, though it still reports to Congress about its progress. In 2015, it was reported that the Air Force wanted the B-21 to be more than a bomber. It could also collect intelligence, manage battles, and even act as an interceptor. Northrop Grumman calls the B-21 the world's first sixth-generation aircraft. In 2016, at the Air Warfare Symposium, the U.S. Air Force announced that the long-range strike bomber would be named the B-21 because it is the first bomber of the 21st century. Later that year, it was named Raider in honor of the Doolittle Raiders, with retired Lieutenant Colonel Richard E. Cole, the last living member, present at the ceremony. 7 key suppliers were selected for the program in 2016, including Pratt & Whitney and BAE Systems. The B-21's engines are similar to those of the F-35 to help reduce costs. By 2018, the program had completed its critical design review, and in 2020, new renderings showed a smaller, lighter aircraft compared to the B-2 bomber. The Air Force initially aimed for the bomber to enter service in the mid-2020s, but by 2021, the date was pushed to 2027. Similar to the X-44 Manta, many details about the B-21 program remain classified. Some information has been made public since 2015. The first B-21 was shown to the public in December 2022 at a Northrop Grumman facility in Palmdale, California. Its first flight happened on November 10, 2023, and by September 2024, 3 B-21s were actively being tested. The Australian Strategic Policy Institute suggested that Australia should consider buying B-21 Raiders to improve its long-range strike capability. The report said a B-21 can fly 2,500 miles without refueling and carry more weapons compared to the F-35 jets, which can only fly 930 miles and need refueling. One B-21 can also deliver the same impact as several F-35s and can strike targets from safer air bases in southern Australia, closer to more resources. During talks, the U.S. mentioned that Australia might be able to purchase the B-21. U.S. Air Force Secretary Frank Kendall said there was no limit to working together, and they would discuss long-range strike options if needed. However, Australia's Defence Strategic Review later decided that the B-21 wasn't the best option. Instead, they opted to upgrade their F-35As and F/A-18Fs to newer versions that can use advanced missiles. A report later recommended that Australia might reconsider buying the B-21 if there are delays in other defense programs. The B-21's test program is managed by the U.S. Air Force at Edwards Air Force Base. The first B-21 flight took place in late 2023, followed by more testing flights. By mid-2024, 3 test aircraft were in use, with one doing weekly flights and the others used for ground testing. Now, let's circle back to China's response to the United States unveiling the latest aviation technology. On September 25, the People's Liberation Army Air Force revealed that it will debut its latest warplanes at the Zhuhai Air Show, scheduled from November 12 to 17 in Zhuhai, Guangdong Province. This biennial event is China's largest air show and draws huge audiences eager to witness the display of China's growing military and commercial aircraft capabilities. At a press conference, Lieutenant General Yu Qingjiang, Vice Commander of the PLAAF, stated that these new warplanes would perform in a flight demonstration. He emphasized that the PLAAF will showcase its abilities in air combat, airstrikes, unmanned and counter-unmanned warfare, strategic delivery, airdropping, early warning, and air defense, all using advanced equipment being shown to the public for the first time. You also highlighted that this exhibition reflects China's determination to protect its national sovereignty, unity, and territorial integrity, while also promoting its stance on maintaining peace, openness to cooperation, and ensuring equal communication in global affairs. Although specific aircraft were not named, the announcement has fueled speculation about what might be revealed. Some experts suggest that China may display next-generation aircraft or advanced aero engines. However, Chinese military aviation expert Fu Chanxiao mentioned that despite widespread rumors about the H-20 bomber, it is likely still not ready for public display. In 2016, PLAAF General Ma Jiushun revealed that China was working on a new long-range bomber. By 2018, a military spokesperson confirmed the project was progressing well. The U.S. Department of Defense expects the H-20 to be a flying wing design with a range of over 8,500 kilometers and the ability to carry at least 10 tons of weapons, including conventional or nuclear payloads. The bomber is designed to target U.S. military bases in Guam and Hawaii. Over the years, several models and images of the H-20 have appeared online, showing features like serrated air intakes and foldable twin tails. In 2022, Chinese media suggested the bomber was close to its first flight. This development follows months after PLA Air Force Deputy Commander Wang Wei mentioned that the highly anticipated H-20 bomber would be revealed soon, though he didn't give a specific timeline. The H-20 is seen as China's answer to the US B-21 Raider, which is already in low-rate production. Although no official details were shared, a Chinese aviation expert speculated that several advanced aircraft might make an appearance at the air show, including the Y-20 transport plane, equipped with new domestic engines and unmanned stealth drones. Additionally, the expert noted that a new special operations aircraft and a medium-sized stealth fighter jet based on the FC-31 might be showcased at the event. This is particularly significant as China is reportedly testing a new carrier-based stealth fighter derived from the FC-31, a fifth-generation aircraft. Recently, a documentary on China's state-owned broadcaster, CCTV, hinted that an unknown carrier-based jet was tested on the Liaoning, China's first aircraft carrier. Although details remain secret, rumors suggest that the aircraft in question could be the J-35, the carrier-based version of the FC-31. Fu Chanxiao, a Chinese aviation expert, also pointed out that the FC-31 was shown in its original form at previous air shows. He expressed interest in seeing if updated models would debut this time. Media reports suggest that there may be several versions of the FC-31, including land-based and carrier-based variants. As China's biggest air show, the Zhuhai event draws significant attention, and it seems that Beijing is preparing to flex its military might once again. This comes just after China tested a long-range intercontinental ballistic missile in the Pacific, which sent shockwaves across the Indo-Pacific region. The timing of these developments adds to the anticipation of what will be revealed at the air show as China continues to showcase its expanding military capabilities. As tensions rise in the Indo-Pacific region, China's Ministry of Defense announced that the People's Liberation Army carried out an intercontinental ballistic missile test on September 25 in the Pacific Ocean. This was the first ICBM test in 44 years. The missile, known as DF-41, has been in service since 2017 and has a range of 12,000 to 15,000 kilometers, making it capable of carrying nuclear warheads over great distances. The test involved a simulated warhead that successfully hit a predetermined target in the ocean, according to the Chinese MOD. The ministry described the test as part of routine military exercises, aimed at evaluating the performance of weapons and training. While China claimed it informed relevant countries in advance, Japan expressed dissatisfaction for not being notified earlier. This test, the first in decades, is seen as a message to China's regional rivals and the United States. The timing of the test, shortly after U.S. President Joe Biden's address at the UN on managing competition with China, has further fueled speculations. In February 2016, the head of Air Force Global Strike Command said they expected to initially order 100 B-21 bombers, aiming for a full fleet of 175 to 200 aircraft. However, by 2017, two USAF studies suggested the initial order could increase to 145 bombers. The B-21s are being assembled at Plant 42 in Palmdale, California, the same facility where Northrop Grumman built the B-2 bombers in the 1980s and 1990s. In January 2017, Northrop Grumman was awarded a $35.8 million contract to create a special facility at Plant 42 for stealth coatings, likely for the B-21. Construction of the first B-21 started by mid-2019, and by early 2021, media reported that both the first and second aircraft were under construction. At a congressional hearing in June 2021, Darlene Costello, Acting Assistant Secretary of the Air Force for Acquisition, Technology and Logistics, confirmed that two B-21s were being built at Plant 42. By February 2022, 6 B-21s were under construction, and the first was moved to a calibration facility in March 2022. Around 8,000 Northrop Grumman employees and 400 suppliers from over 40 states have worked on the project. The first B-21 was unveiled at Northrop Grumman's facility in Palmdale on December 2, 2022. At the unveiling, Northrop CEO Kathy Warden mentioned that the B-21 is designed with a modular, open systems architecture to allow for easy upgrades and potential export of components to foreign buyers. She also said the B-21 systems were far more advanced than the B-2, and the bomber is slightly smaller but has a longer range. Unlike typical prototypes, the first B-21s are test aircraft that will be converted into operational models after testing is completed. In September 2023, officials reported that engine and fueling tests were progressing, preparing for the first flight later that year. On November 10, 2023, the B-21 successfully completed its first test flight at Plant 42 in Palmdale, California. Finally, a low-rate initial production contract for the B-21 program was awarded on January 23, 2024. In July 2006, the U.S. Air Force decided not to reveal the cost of Northrop's B-21 bomber contract, fearing it would give away too much classified information to rivals. The Senate Armed Services Committee also voted to keep the program's costs secret, sharing it only with defense committees, despite opposition led by Senator John McCain. McCain suggested cutting the B-21 budget by $3 million due to a lower-than-expected contract value and pushed for strict cost controls and performance reports. Although earlier versions of the 2017 defense bill called for the B-21's total cost to be made public, this requirement was removed in the final version. By December 2022, each B-21 was estimated to cost $700 million, and the Air Force expected to spend at least $203 billion over 30 years to develop, buy, and operate a fleet of 100 bombers. Maintenance of the B-21 will be managed by Tinker Air Force Base in Oklahoma, with testing and evaluation at Edwards Air Force Base in California. It will likely be based at current bomber bases like Dyess AFB, Ellsworth AFB, and Whiteman AFB. In March 2019, Ellsworth was chosen as the base for the first operational and training B-21 unit. By 2040, the B-21 is set to replace the aging B-1 and B-2 bombers, and possibly the B-52 in the future. It is a key part of U.S. Indo-Pacific military strategy, particularly in a potential conflict with China. There was talk of a drone to accompany the B-21, but the idea was dropped due to cost concerns. The Air Force is also developing a new long-range fighter, the FX, to help escort the B-21 and protect it from enemy defenses. Thanks for watching. While you are still here, click on the link appearing on your screen to check out another of our videos. See you there.